Milan, how do you digest this season, one that was supposed to be a bounce-back year, if you will, but when you look at it, how would you remember this one?
Definitely an experience that I've never experienced before and definitely would not like to experience again. I think I speak for everyone, not just for myself. Lots to look forward to coming into this year and stuff like that. Great opportunity by starting the year in Europe and kind of getting away to start things off. And we had our ups and downs at the start of the season, but we were still in the mix. And it seems like when Clef got injured, the team bled and we couldn't get the bleeding to stop quick enough. And that's the unfortunate part. And when Clef and Sekera came back, we started to look like what we were again 2 years ago. And it's just unfortunate that we weren't able to get the result that we wanted. But yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing on a personal level. It's disappointing from a team level, disappointing from an organization standpoint. There was obviously a lot of big changes throughout the season, and I'm sure there'll be more changes to come as far as everything goes. Even if you win the Stanley Cup, there's changes in the off season, and but in saying that, I don't think this team is that far off. Like I said, when the D-core was healthy, you saw how much better our team was. Leon took a huge step in what he is as a player. So did Nuge and so did Nursey, and like I said, our D-core and stuff like that. But it's just finding a way to get a little bit more out of other guys, and like I said, I think that's where when you have the main pieces in place and guys that they're playing the way that they are, and those guys that I mentioned, like I said, you're not far off. So I'm sure whoever they hire they're going to be looking for a guy to bring in a certain type of culture, a certain type of feel, to get things moving in the right direction as far as the organization goes. And I guess that's something to really look forward to.
You would be one of those other guys that they'd want to get more out of. And I think it's fair to say that, last year in the second half, you talked about it openly, were really frustrated. Maybe even your on-ice performance wasn't the same. This year down the stretch, you didn't see that, but there was not the same results. What has to happen for Milan Lucic to get back to being an offensive threat?
I think the main thing and is just it's almost like I put the weight of the world on my own shoulders, and it's almost like I call it like the quicksand effect. It's like the harder you try, the more you sink in, and I did everything I could to put myself in the best possible physical shape coming in, working with skilled guys in the summer and all that type of stuff. And I think I was 7th in the fitness testing in all of camp this year. So it wasn't my fitness, it wasn't my skating. It's just, I think it's a mental thing. I think it's just finding that confidence again, and just this self-belief. And if you ask the top guys and all the 100-point guys this year, not that I'm going to be a 100-point guy, but but you ask those guys who believes in them, more than they believed in themselves, and they'd all tell you nobody believes in them more than they do in themselves. And I think I have to find that again and find the joy in that again. And I know physically I still have a lot to give, and it's just about finding those bounces, creating those bounces, relaxing and bearing down in those areas where I've shown over the years that I can finish, and it's just up to me to find that again.
Would you reach out to a guy like Dustin Brown, who kind of went through that for a few years and then bounces back and had a career year last year and another good year this year?
Yeah, I talked to him last summer a little bit. I definitely would probably maybe talk to him more in depth this year and kind of see how and what he did to bounce back. And and you saw what a change did for him, when it went from Darryl to John Stevens and Willie this year. Just a little change, little big change worked out in his favor in a big time. So whoever the new guy coming in here might have the same effect.
So you subscribe to the theory that you can't just win with Leon and Connor. This league's too good, so the support players, the teams that win, need third and fourth line guys too that score 10, 15 goals.
100%. You now the league is there's so much parity in it that you need contributions from everyone in order to win hockey games, and I think also everyone has to feel as important as Connor and Leon do. It's just whatever their job is, and they have to take pride and importancy, just like and feel like it's as important as the 100 points and however many goals those two score. And I think that's one of the things that needs to improve here as a group. And by no means am I taking anything away from Connor and Leon. They're not selfish guys at all. They're guys that want team success more than personal success. And but from everyone else, like we talked about, you look at the teams that are all in the playoffs now. They get contributions throughout their lineup, and that's just something that we didn't have this year, and something that we're going to have to find moving forward.
Is it frustrating, Milan, at times when you looked at during the year there were some moves? I think players seem to be the best evaluator of talent, and at times there were some moves that devalue the skill of your team. Is that demoralizing in a room? Is it hard at times to overcome that when outside of your control, your team's getting less talented during the year?
From my experiences, you always you got to trust in the person that's making those decisions, because they are out of your control, and you try to get the most out of players regardless of what they are and what their skill set is. And I mean, I couldn't be happier for Ryan Strome and to see the season that he had in New York once he got traded. And it's just, but before that, it just it seemed like nothing was working for him and nothing was going in for him here. And he gets a change of scenery and everything seems to go in for him, and he ends up with, I think, a career high in goals. And so I think it just goes back to the feeling of importancy. Guys, need to. Don't get me wrong. It's on the guys to step up and bring their best, but also, guys got to be knowing what their job is and taking pride of it.
When you see a guy like that, a change of scenery, and all of a sudden he gets a boost, does that go through the back of your mind that a change of scenery would help you?
I haven't really thought about it too much, to be honest. Right now, obviously, you don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, there were big changes, and that there's more changes to come. And if I'm a part of the plan moving forward, then great. If I'm not, then that's a discussion that I'm going to have with the GM and my agents and make a decision of that moving forward. But obviously, there's time to reflect on that in the next 2 months. And like I said, if I'm a part of the ultimate plan moving forward, like I said, great. I'll do, regardless of anything, I'll do whatever I need to do in order to make sure I'm back being the player I know I am.
You went from 23 goals to 10 goals to 6 goals. How do you? Some people think you're never going to get back to being the player that you can be, and you believe you can. How does it happen, and does it happen here in Edmonton?
I hope that it happens, especially here. That's a reason why I did come here, because I wanted to bring that part of my game to help this team move forward as far as that stuff goes. So like I said, just gotta find the confidence again. Just gotta find, whether it's maybe working more on ice this summer than off ice. I've always been a guy that's been more in the gym than the ice as far as the summer goes, and it seems like this younger generation, they're skating almost starting skating at the end of June, which was really rare when I first came in the league. But maybe that's something to do it. But I believe that I can do it. I know my teammates here still believe that I can get back to that. It's just just a matter of finding it.
What were you thinking just seeing McDavid on the ice the last game of the year? You must have been like, geez, what's next?
Yeah, it sucked because I was in the game when Stamkos went into the posts, in 2013, and he missed the Sochi Olympics because of it. And that was the first thing that kind of crossed my mind. And, I can't speak for, what he's going through right now, but obviously it's a scary sight and a tough way to end the year. But, hopefully he makes a full recovery here and we'll be back to his normal self next year.